Welcome back to the podcast and chill. I'm Leo, hopefully still your favorite host. I'm Gwent. I'm just here to make sure it doesn't get too crazy. Too late. I was born crazy. You bring the logics, I bring the fun. Balance, if you say so. Anyway, remember that community post we share? Of course, we asked everyone for podcast ideas, and replies were amazing. Yeah, and a topic show up again and again. How to become the best version of yourself. Great topic, but also a lot of pressure. So today, we're keeping things simple. No big rules, no stress, just more steps to grow in your own pace. That's the podcast and chill way. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. And don't forget, we make a free PDF with a tip you can use. Make sure to click the link in the description, and most importantly, make a copy you can edit it yourself. And if you find this episode helpful, hit that subscribe button and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Alright, Grants, today we're talking about big topic, how to become the best version of yourself. Yes, and that's something people often talk about, but it's not easier as it sounds, right? No, it's not. A lot of people think just about setting goals, but there's not more to it. True. And I think the first step is self-reflection, taking time to really understand yourself. Wait, Gwent, let me pause you there, listeners. Reflections, that when you deeply about something, right? Like looking back on your actions? Exactly, Leo. Reflection is when you take time to think about what you've done, how you felt, and what you can learn from it. Like at the end of the day, you make reflect on the went well and what did it. Right, it's important to ask yourself questions like, am I living a way that makes me happy? Exactly. Or what's stopping me from growing? Research from Harvard University shows that people who think about that actions often make better choices. Let me give you a personal example. A few years ago, I was working at a job I hated. Every morning, I wake up feeling miserable, but I kept myself. It's fine. I'm making money. It's worth it until I sat down, really reflect on what I wanted, and realized I was wasting my time. That brave, Leo, what did you do? I asked myself, if I keep doing this for 5 years, will I be happy? The answer was clear no. So I started planning my assets and eventually moved into the podcasting. That's the great example how reflection helps you take action. But here's the thing. But a lot of people get stuck in a reflection phase. They think about change, they dream about it, but they never actually do anything. You're absolutely right, Gwen. When I was in college, I spent months thinking about starting a YouTube channel. I researched cameras, lighting, editing software, everything, but I never actually filmed a single video. Why not? Fear mostly. And fears that the feeling of being worried about something, right? Yes, exactly. Fear is that emotion you get whether you worry about failing or trying something new. And that fear kept me stuck. There's something called analysis paralysis. It means you think too much and can't start. Oh, I love this one. When you're overthinking something so much, you can't make decisions. That's exactly what happened to me. That's the perfect example of how reflection without action leads nowhere. And that when people get stuck and procrastinate. Exactly. That's where saving comes, right? Yes, but goals need to be realistic. And Leo, our listeners, the goals is something what to achieve, right? Like target you aiming for. Exactly, Gwen. A goal is what you want to accomplish. It could be learning English, getting healthier, or starting a new hobby, right? But too many people set goals that are way too big. And mindset, that's how you think about things, isn't it? Yes, mindset is how you think about things. If you have a positive mindset, you believe you can improve with effort. Exactly. But what happens when you don't reach that goal right away? That's when people give up. Let me tell you what happened to my cousin. He set the crazy goal, lose 30 kilograms in 3 months. He went to the gym every day and ate very little. After 2 weeks, he was tired to continue. When he didn't see quick results, he stopped completely. Now he said, working out just doesn't work for me. That's exactly what I'm talking about. When goals are too big and you feel less confidence. Self-doubt makes things very difficult. There's actually something psychologists call what the hell effect. Wait, really? That's the actual name? Yes. It's when you break your goals once, like eating one cookie when you're on diet. And then you think, well, I'm already messed up. What the hell am I? Whole box. Oh my god, I do that all the times. Exactly. So when my cousin skipped one gym day, he probably thought, what the hell? I already failed. And then gave up completely. Right. So instead of saying, I want to lose 30 kilograms, it's better to say, I want to work for 20 minutes every day this week. Exactly. I agree with you. So that's why I think small habits are the key. Wait, let's explain the word habits. That's when you do something regularly, right? Yes, Leo. A habit is something you do regularly, often without thinking about it. Like brushing your teeth every morning. That's a habit. And here's something cool. There is a 2 minutes rule. It says that any new habit should take less than 2 minutes to do when you start. For example, instead of read 30 pages every day, start with read 1 page. Yes, you're right, Leo. Because the start with habit, not the read many pages. When you show up consistently, you naturally do more. That's brilliant. I learned this with learning Spanish. I told myself, I'm going to fluent in 6 months. I gave up after 3 weeks because it felt impossible. That seemed so hard at the beginning. Yes, but then later I tried again, saying, I've learned 5 new words every day and practice for 15 minutes. And it worked. After 6 months, I could have a basic conversations. That's the perfect example. And when you see progress, even small progress, it motivates you to keep going. Progress, that's when you're moving forward, improving, right? Exactly. Progress means you're getting better over time. It's about moving forward step by step. But when your goals are too big, one small problem makes you stop. And then we tell yourself, see, I can't change. And that's the tough part. When you give up a big goal, your confidence goes down, right? When your confidence is low, it's easy to think, maybe I can't do it. That is self-doubt. So let's talk about it. When you don't believe you are good enough, you won't even try. For example, I struggle with this. I started this podcast. I kept thinking, who's going to listen to me? What if I fail? I realized that mistakes are part of the process. So I started small. I record a few episodes, didn't worry about perfection. That's growth mindset in action. Actually, there is something called a spotlight effect. What's that? It's when you feel like everyone is watching you, but really, people are not looking that much. Oh yeah, I thought everyone will be noticed every mistake I made. Exactly. Most people think about their own problem, not judging you. Because if you believe you can improve, you won't try. And if you don't try, you definitely won't improve. And if you stop learning and growing, you don't just get stuck and it gets hurt and mental well-being. Alright, let's summarize this first part. So far, we talk about reflections, small goals, and how to handle self-doubt. I love that. Progress over perfection. Before we move on, we'd love to hear from you. What's one small one you can save yourself this week? Share it in the comments below. And don't forget to download free PDF in the description. It has worksheets to help you set realistic goals and track your progress. So when we talk about goals and reflection, but let's dive into something equally important, continuous learning. Absolutely. The journeys are becoming your past self doesn't with setting goals. It's a lifelong process. And here's the thing, if you stop learning, you're not just staying in place, you're actually falling behind. And growing, that's becoming better ability over time, right? Exactly, Leo. To grow means to improve or develop. Like playing grow bigger, you can grow as a person by learning new things and challenging yourself. Right. Stanford has studied and showed this. If you believe you can better by trying, you have a higher chance of success. And that fixed mindset is to keep people trapped. I see this my older brother over times. Oh, what happens? He's working in the same for job for 15 years. Every time I suggest he learn a new skill, he says, I am too old to learn new things. He's experiencing cognitive closure. What's that? When people definitely answer and dislike uncertainty. So your brother has decided I'm too old to learn, and he's closed his mind anything other possibilities. Exactly. It's like he locked himself in a mental box. Right. And my brother is happy. He complains about his jobs constantly, but he wants to do anything to change it. That's what being stuck looks like. When you're unhappy, but you believe you can change. And change, that's making something different, isn't it? Yes, exactly. Change means to make something different or to become different yourself. Like changing your daily routine or changing your attitudes or changing careers. When you stop learning, your brain stops growing. But the good news is learning doesn't have to be complicated. Grant, how do you keep learning over the times? I try to learn something new every day, even if it's more. For example, last month I learned how to make sourdough bread. It took me several tries to get right, but now I can make it whenever I want. That's awesome. Learning keeps your brain active and gives you a sense of accomplishment. I've been learning to play guitar recently. Really? How's that going? It's hard, but every week I get a little better. You know what's funny? There's something called the beginner's mind. Oh, I heard of this. It's a common for Gen Buddhist, right? Yes. It's when you learn with a beginner mind, staying open to curious, everything becomes easier to understand. Kids are great at that. They're trying to without worry about look stupid. Exactly. But as adults, we lose that. What afraid to beginners again. That's so true. When I started guitar, I was embarrassed to get in front of anyone, right? But if you can accept it beginners, learning becomes fun again. I love that. Grant, that's getting new knowledge or skills, right? Yes, Leo. To learn means to gain new information or abilities. You can learn by reading, watching video, practicing, or even making mistakes. Learning is how we grow. That's what learning does. It keeps you engaged with life. And here's the thing. If you cover yourself with people who are learning or growing, it becomes even harder to stay motivated. Oh, absolutely. The people around you have a huge influence on your mindset. Influence, that's when you something or someone affect you, right? Exactly, Leo. Influence is affects someone or something has on you. If your friends are positive and motivated, influence you positive too, right? There actually is something psychologists call social proof. Ooh, what's that? What's the look at other people are doing to decide what you should do? If everyone around you is lazy to motivate it, you're more likely to be lazy too. But if everyone around you is working on goals, you'll feel motivated to do the same. That makes so much sense. When I was trying to start this podcast, I had some friends who were super. I Podcasting is too competitive. You'll never make it. How did you handle that? I had to distance myself from the negative voices. I started spending more time with people who encouraged me. Because when you're surrounded by negativity, it's really hard to stay motivated. It's also something called emotional contagion. That sounds serious. It is. It's the way emotions spread from person to person like a virus. If you hang out with someone who's complaining and negative, you're starting feeling negative too. But if you're spending time with positive, motivated people, their energy breathes off you from you. Oh wow, I definitely experienced that. You get stuck not only because of your fears, but because people around you make your fears bigger. Let me give you another example. I have a friend who wants to start her own business. She has a great idea, but her partner kept saying, it's too risky. What if you fail? And she didn't start a business. She stayed at jobs he hated. Now 5 years later, he's still unhappy and full of regrets. And that's the sad part. When you stay stuck, you miss changes. And later you think, I wish I tried. Right. So it's really important to think about who you are spending your time with. Are they helping to grow or are they holding you back? So what you can, a listener, you can rely and surrounded by negative influences. First, don't feel guilty about creating distance. It's okay to protect energies and your goals. Second, look for people who help you. You can join a group, take a class, or learning from someone with experience. And third, be that positive influence for others. Support, that's when you help someone or encourage them, right? Exactly, Leo. To support someone means to help them, encourage them, or standing by them. And actually, there's something called the happiness high. Really? Yes. Studies show this. When you have someone, your brain gives you a little happy boost. So supporting others doesn't help them. It makes you feel better too. That's amazing. So by being supportive, you are actually helping yourself grow too. Exactly. It's a win-win. Alright, before we wrap up, let's hear from you. Who's someone in your life who supports your growth? And if you don't have a person yet, what community or group could you join to find them? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Alright everyone, we talked about a lot today. We really have, Leo. Let's put it all together. So, if you want to change, where do you start? First, use reflection to understand yourself. But don't think too much. Take action. Second, set small, realistic goals. Use 2 minutes rule. Start very small. Third, don't worry about spotlight effect. People aren't watching you as much as you think. Fourth, keep learning a beginner mind. Try new things, even if not good at first. And finally, choose positive people that help you stay motivated. Remember, you give up, you lose confidence. If you stay stuck, you feel regrets. If you will stop learning, your brain doesn't grow. But the good news, you can change. Start today with one step. Tell us in the comments what one small thing you do this week. And download the free PDF in the description. It's hand worksheets and tips for you. If this helped you, hit subscribe and share with a friend. Thank you for listening to Podcast and Chill. Remember, progress over perfection. See you next time. Bye.